Okay. Uh, yeah, delay starting in 14 seconds, 13, 12, 11, 9. So, good evening, everyone. Good evening to even YouTube family. And today we are going to do advanced problems. Okay, JEE means an advanced problem on this whole graphical analysis which we have done. Okay, within the last 6 to 7 lectures. So this is going to be your most important class. Next two more important class, motion in 1D will be completed. Then I'll directly start. I'll give only one lecture of vector analysis just for YouTube. Okay. And after that, I'll just do relative velocity and projectile motion. Okay. So then we can jump. Okay. So should I start? Yes or no? Everyone? Okay. So you'll have to tell yes or no. You'll have again 2 minutes time to solve each and every kind of question. After that, 2 minutes I'm going to solve. Okay. So this time I'm going to increase your time level and it will be 5 minutes per question. Okay. No, 4 minutes per question. Okay. 4 minutes per question. I have kept my stopwatch over here in my hand. Every question you'll have to reply in 4 minutes. Then I'll move ahead. Okay. So look over here. First question coming before you. Look over there with the question. Try this question. I'll zoom it a little bit. Okay. Okay. So look over at this question, question number 1. The graph below shows the position as a function of time for two trains running on a parallel track. Okay. Which of the following statement is true? Okay. True and false statement wise. Think about this question. YouTube family is also. And really sorry YouTube guys because I'm doing many of the things are in English. So I'll start doing in Hindi also because here people can't understand little bit of Hindi. So that's the biggest problem. English is our common language now. Can you solve anyone? The graph below shows the position as a function of time for two trains running on a parallel track. Okay. At what, which of the following statement is true? Anyone? 1 minute more for the question. Who have replied? Sujit has replied option C. Both the trains have same velocity at some time before TB. Option C is given by Hitesh. Okay. Darshan, Radha, Yasmin, Nishan, Tafan, Arpita, Sneha, Ankit, Radha 1. Okay. Anyone else? Come on fast, come on. Nissan 1. Both the trains have similar velocity. Think once about this question. This question is a really great question. Okay, now look over here. First important thing. Okay, your time is over now, 9:17. Let us do this. So look over here. What you observe from the graph, particle, both of them starts from the same initial point, that is t equal to 0, x is equal to 0. Okay, and after that they starts to move. Particle B first moves like this way. Particle A have the linear graph. What we observe from this, like you can observe how to observe this. Take this point P1, take this point P2. Okay, draw the slope over there. Okay, draw the tangent at point P1 and P2. What you observe, that if I draw a right angle triangle on these tangents, the particular size of the right angle triangle is decreasing. That means what? Velocity of B is decreasing. Velocity of B is decreasing. Got it or not? First point. And velocity of A is what? Here slope is positive. That means what? Velocity of A is increasing. Okay. But what you observe, the distance traveled by the B, try to see the area of distance traveled by the B is going to be more than the area of A. That means what? What has happened over here? That previously the velocity of B was much more as compared to the velocity of A. Understood or not? Now, based upon this, you try to see which of the following are possible. First important thing, let us go to option number 1. At time TB, means at this time TB, both the trains have similar velocity. What it is written, at time TB both the trains have similar velocity. Answer is no. Like look over here, at time TB, 1 for 1 the distance is getting constant. That means what? For B velocity is equal to approaches 0 over here at time tb. For A, it is a positive value. So option A is incorrect. Yes or no? Option A is incorrect because A is having a velocity while B is having a 0 velocity at point tb. Next thing, both the trains have the same velocity at some time after tb. Answer is no. Why? Because the velocity of B is going to be 0 while still the velocity of A is positive. Okay. So both of the option 1 and 2 are incorrect. Now, both the trains have similar acceleration. The answer is no. Using try to see that the graph of position time for A and for B both are different. Try to see for A, it is a constant velocity graph. That means what? Acceleration will be 0. For B, there is a retardation. Understood or not? What is happening? Velocity is decreasing or not? That means what? Retardation is there here. For train A, what is happened? The graph is constant or linear. That means what? Acceleration is going to be equal to how much? 0 for it. Okay. So that means what? They didn't have same acceleration. So what is going to happen? Option C will be correct. Both the trains have the same velocity at some time before t. How you can verify that? Look over here. At point P over here and at point this. If you draw the slope at point this, try to see the slope is like this way. And here also the slope is like this way. Both the slopes are parallel or not. If the slopes are parallel, then their angle will be parallel. Means this theta angle for both of the slopes is going to be similar or not. Now if tan theta of A is going to be equal to tan theta of B, that means what? Velocity of A is going to be equal to velocity of B. So option C is correct. Understood or not? Yes or no, everyone? Got this? Afan, Sneha, Arpita, Darshan? Yes or no? Nisan? So that's why I'm saying now the level of questions will increase and your mental problem will also increase. Go to question number 2. Okay. Among 4 graphs shown in the figure, there is only one graph for which the average velocity over the time interval 0, t can vanish for suitably chosen t. Select the graph. Among the 4 graphs shown in the figure, there is only one graph for which average velocity over the time interval 0, t can vanish for a suitably chosen t. Select the graph. Two minutes, 3 minutes for this question, not 4 minutes. क्वेश्चन ही समझ में नहीं आया. अरे वही तो बात है, इसलिए तो जेईई मेंस कहा जाता है इसको. समझने का कोशिश करो, क्वेश्चन को पढ़ो, थोड़ा सा समझो, थोड़ा सा बस दिमाग लगाओ, आंसर आ जाएगा. बोल रहा है कि चारों ग्राफ में ऐसा सोचना है कि मींस लाइक वी हैव टू सेलेक्ट in these 4 graphs there is one graph which in which what is going to happen, the average velocity, total average velocity of the body is going to get 0. Vanish means what? It is going to get 0 between the time interval 0 comma t. Understood or not? Between the time interval of 0 and t. Okay, what is going to happen in this time interval between this range? What is going to happen? Average velocity is going to be 0. You have to make your average velocity to go to 0. Now you have to think what are, see, first reading the question, what should be in mind? Okay, first let us select for what thing average velocity can be equal to 0. Anyone can tell me, like for what thing average velocity will be 0? Yes, Wayne? Hey, yes, Wayne. What you are doing, man? Option B. For yours is option B. Think. Yes, that's why I love Ashwin. Okay, he can beat you guys like a hell. Okay, so average velocity. Okay, the particular. Hey, what has happened? Wait, guys. Yeah, little bit. OBS is lagging. Can you hear me, everyone? Okay. 1 minute. Yeah, it is perfect. Oh, I thought my tablet has gone. So look over here. Average velocity. This average velocity is going to vanish when? Means it is going to going to get 0 when? Either the velocity should be in opposite directions, since velocity is a vector. So if the velocities, if two velocities are in opposite direction, they will cancel each other and the total average velocity is going to be 0. Second case is what? either the total displacement is going to be 0. So if total displacement, mainly you should apply the concept of total displacement, because here it is a position time graph. So if the total displacement is going to be 0, then what is going to happen? Average velocity is going to 0. So it is interconnected. Okay. Now you have to think that when this total displacement is going to be 0, how is it possible? How this, like when total displacement is going to be 0. So this total displacement is going to 0 when your initial points, your initial whatever it is, your initial point should coincide with the final point or not. When this total displacement will be 0, when my initial point coincides with my final point. Let's suppose a home is there. Okay, this is Hitesh home, this is Hitesh school. He goes from home to school, comes from home to, like, school to home, then its displacement is 0. Okay, now look over here. Along all of this graph, what has happened? First, look over first equation. Position is decreasing with respect to time. You try to draw the slopes, means you try to draw the tangent every point. What is happening? Velocity is decreasing. Like, try to see this. This was my slope 1, this is my triangle 1. So velocity is decreasing in one direction. Second case also, you try to see graph is uniform, means it is going in only one direction. That means what? Let's select some points, point P1, point P2, draw the tangents over there. Tangent is pointing in only one direction. Got it or not? So therefore, this is also not possible. If tangent points in one direction, that means what? Velocity is moving in only one direction. Understood or not? Okay. Okay. Now moving to question like option 4, you try to see, select the points P1, select the point P2, draw the tangents. You see again the tangent is in one direction, unidirectional. So again there is no chance of turning back over here. But look at option 2. Select this point, point P1, select this point P2. In point P1, your slope is pointing upward. At point P2, your slope is pointing downward. That means what? First, the velocity was positive along one direction. Second, at point P2, the velocity is negative. This can happen only when the car moves towards one direction, then it returns back. If it turns back, this velocity will be negative. If it is going in forward direction, its velocity will be positive. Okay, so that means what? And you try to also see the position, the displacement of the particle is decreasing with respect to time or not. So that means what? Particle has first went to this wall, then it has turned back and it is coming in towards the initial point only. Now, at this case only, means within this region only, like if this is my initial point and this car goes from initial point to this wall, then return back from the wall to the initial point, the displacement will be equal to 0. So only second case is possible graph in which what can happen? The average velocity can vanish rapidly or easily. Understood or not? Guys, are you able to understand? Hitesh, Yasmin, Ankit, Darshan, Arpita, Sneha, Radha, Sanjana, Isan, Afan, are you get me or not? Yes, na. So this was all. See, again, I'm saying you have, for average velocity to be 0, your displacement should be 0. Displacement is going to be 0. That means what? The like total displacement is going to be 0. That means what? First, the velocity should be in positive direction. Then the velocity should be in opposite direction. Both the velocity will cancel each other, and then the displacement will become 0. Average velocity will become 0. So these are three concepts which can be utilized to solve this kind of problems. Okay. So this was your JEE Mains 2019 question. Okay. So now let us move to previous year JEE Mains. Okay. So first question of previous year JEE Mains. Look over here. A particle starts from origin O, from rest, and moves with a uniform acceleration with the positive x-axis. Identify all the figures that correctly represents the motion qualitatively. Think fast. Do it fast. Okay. Sparsa. Can you solve this question? Anyone? Give the answer fast. Do not. Yes, you should think fast. 2 minutes are there. Think again. Think again. I am telling you. Should I move ahead? Hitesh, Radha, Ankit, option 4. Hitesh, option 4. Nishant, any kind of doubt? You can ask me anytime, okay? Afan, Nishant Ji, Radha, Sanjana, Sparsa, Mr. Nishant. Okay. Well, if you'll have doubt, you can ask me. Darshan, is it okay or not? So look over here. A particle starts from origin from the rest. Okay. So particle starts from origin from rest. That means what? Initial velocity will be equal to 0. Moves with a uniform acceleration after that. Second given quantity is what? Acceleration is constant. Okay. And along the positive x-axis, identify the figures that correctly represents the motion quantitatively. So try to see a is constant or not. So first option is correct, that a. Try to see, this is acceleration, this is time. Acceleration is constant all the time. So first option is correct. Move next. If acceleration is constant, that means what? V will increase linearly or not? Tell me yes or no. V increases linearly. Okay, means the total velocity will increase like uniformly. Okay, so option B is also correct. Now try to see, if acceleration is there, initial velocity is there, so displacement is given as what? Ut plus half a t square. Initial velocity, since initial velocity is 0, so that will be equal to half a t square over here. So displacement is just directly proportional to t square. Now you know that if y is directly proportional to x square, we have a parabolic kind of equation. Yes or no? If we have a parabolic kind of graph or not. So here x is directly proportional to, try to see this, x with respect to t graph is also a parabola. So option C is also correct. Now try to see, at initial, try to see, if initial velocity is 0, acceleration is constant, what is happening? The particle starts from origin. So look over here. Here the particle is starting, try to see, at t is equal to 0, particle is starting from here. That means what? It has a initial displacement x naught. But according to the question, particle starts from the origin, so it is not possible. So option C is not correct. So which options are correct? A, B, and D are correct. So option D is correct. Understood or not? Yes or no? Tumba is in. I told you now. If you solve all of my previous lectures, okay, what will happen? This JEE mains question will be like just ants before you. Okay, but I'll give you the main questions. I'm coming to the main question. Okay. Now move to next question. Question number 2. Tumba easy again. See this. These are 2019 mains they have asked. See how much easy questions they are asking. So please follow previous lectures of velocity and all. Your JEE mains will be ultimately cracked within just like this way. Okay. What it is given, a particle starts from origin at time t equal to 0, moves along the positive x-axis. The graph of velocity with respect to time is shown in figure. What is the position of particle at time t is equal to 5 seconds? A little bit increase the size, okay? Because there is a little bit problem. Wait. Okay. Now, can you tell me what should be the answer of this question? Everyone? I'm expecting from everyone. Afan, hey, solve Mari now. This is the most easiest question. Hitesh, Radha, Darshan, what you guys are doing? Sanjana, huh? Nishant, Nivant, Ankit, option 1. Ankit is doing fast today. Ahmad, Ahmad have joined. Ahmad, do it fast, all of these questions. Ankit told option 1 is correct. Uh-huh. Option C, 10 meter. Okay. Yasmin told option C, 10 meter. Move fast. I am not listening to Radha, Santana, uh, Arpita. Where is Arpita? Arpita went. Nisant, option C. Darshan. Hey, Darshan, where are you? नहीं बना जल्दी बनाओ इसको 9. Okay. So Darshan's answer is correct. Perfectly correct. Yeah. So look over here. It is a velocity time graph. It is asking about position. You know that velocity is equal to distance by time. Again, I have told you, if you calculate, like distance can be written as velocity into time. Okay. So the graph of area of the graph of velocity time graph will give you distance. Okay. So now try to see till 5 seconds. I need to calculate the position or not. So look over here. First, I'll calculate the area till 2 seconds. Then I'll calculate the area of rectangle. Then I'll calculate the area of this rectangle. Add all of this. This will be your position at t is equal to 5 seconds. So position at t is equal to 5 is going to be area. First, half into base is 2, height is 2, 2 into 2 plus base is 2, height is 2, 2 into 2 plus this is 1 and height is how much? 3. So 1 into 3. If you solve this, this is equal to 9 meters. Got it or not? This is tumba easy. Yaar. What you guys are doing? Option D. Hey, where is Hitesh? Where is Hitesh? I'll kill Hitesh. Are here, sir. Here. I can't hear your answer, sir. Huh? I jaldi jaldi fast lage raho. Okay. Move to next question. Third question. Okay. 2018 means. Hey. Third question. All of the graph below are intended to represent the same motion. First, read the question correctly. Okay, don't jump to the graph. What it is saying? All of the graph below are intended to represent the same motion. One of them does it incorrectly. Pick that. Do it fast. Do it fast, guys. There are no more time left. Okay. So sometimes it will be hard question. Ahmad, option C. Yeah, Ahmad. Next. Do it fast. Do it fast. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, sorry. Option C. Many guys are saying option C. I think option D is correct. I do not know whether I am correct or not. All of the graph intended to represent same motion. Okay. All of the graph are representing your same motion. One of them is doing it incorrectly. You have to tell which is doing it. So look over here. Try to see this. Simple. First, at t is equal to 0, it has initial velocity v naught. Yes or no? Again, at t is equal to 0, this has also initial velocity v naught. Yes or no? But here in this graph, this is position time graph, this is distance time graph. So previously it was a velocity time graph. You got the answers correct. Okay. So okay, means at t is equal to 0, I have the initial velocity v naught. Okay, means, oh wait, one thing. Sorry. Look over here. Yeah. So look over here. So at t is equal to 0, I have velocity v naught for this case. At x is equal to 0, like initially, if the total position is 0, at that time only I have the initial velocity v naught. Here I have a position time graph. So slope of position time graph give you velocity or not. So look over here. If you draw the slope, if you try to draw for half of the particular motion, what you get? The slope to be positive. That means what? Initially there is also a velocity present over here, because if you draw the slope, it will be giving you theta over here. At this only you can calculate the tan theta. So tan theta is going to give you some value. So that means what? There is definitely in this graph also some initial velocity is present. Go to this graph. What you observe, between this range you can't draw a slope. Means in this smaller region t naught, you can't draw a slope. That means what? That there is no initial velocity present over here. No initial velocity is present. Okay, so if no initial velocity is present, that means what? This is showing different kind of graph, so this is incorrect. Understood or not? Or yes or no? Everyone? Got it or not? Huh? Okay, so you have to be very much cautious about these kind of questions. Okay, increasing the level. 2017 means a body is thrown vertically upwards. Which of the following graph correctly represent velocity versus time? It's easy. I have done already this question. Option B is correct. Like at t is equal to 0, you have initial velocity. It goes to 0 at maximum height. Yes or no? After time t. And after that, it is coming down. That time, velocity becomes negative. Yes or no? Because velocity points. Like try to see. This is my ground level. A thrown ball upward. This is my velocity initial. It becomes 0 over here. In the downward part, the velocity again starts to increase. But this velocity is a negative velocity. So it is getting increasing over here. So option B is correct for question number 4. Okay. I'm not going to take much more time. Move to question number 5. Now here comes the best question given from graphical analysis till now in the JEE Mains history. Think about this question. You can take 5 minutes of time in this question. We will draw the diagram till that time. काफी सन्नाटा हो गया यार. Make some noise, guys. Make some noise for the Desi boys. Nisant B, Ahmad B. Ahmad, explain how B. Ahmad. Okay. Okay, I'll tell this question. Darshan, any idea about this question? Okay. Yasmin, Hitesh, Ankit, Nizan Ji, Radha. Okay. So here, first important thing about the question is, it is asking about the, try to see, two balls are thrown or two stones are thrown up simultaneously from the edge of a cliff to 40-meter high with initial speed of 10 meter per second, 40 meter per second. Okay. Now, next thing is, which of the following graph best represents the time variation of relative position of the second stone with respect to the first? Okay, you have to find a relative position of the second stone with respect to the first after hitting the ground and neglect air resistance. Assume stones do not rebound after hitting the ground and neglect air resistance. X is equal to 10 meter per second square. So actually you have to represent, let's suppose this this stone, let's suppose I call this stone as B, I call this as stone as A. So A follows, let's suppose it takes y1 displacement upwards. Like I'll have to raise a little bit, wait. Okay. So what has happened? This ball A takes y1 displacement upwards while ball B takes y2 displacement upwards. Got it or not? So this is attained by ball A, this is attained by B. You can ask me why, sir? Ball A has less initial velocity as compared to the initial velocity of B. Okay. Now try to see. that ball A comes over here for y1, ball B comes for here for y2. Can you write the equation of motion for them? Answer is yes, we can write the equation of motion. So first we need to calculate that where, try to see this, we need to calculate this y2 minus y1 or not. So y2, what will be the displacement equation for ball B? It will be equal to ut minus half at square. Okay, what will be displacement equation for ball A? Y1, it will be ut again minus of half at square. So okay, now look over here, y2 is going to be equal to how much? Y2 is going to be equal to initial velocity 40t minus of half at square, and y1 is going to be equal to how much? It is going to be equal to 10t minus of half at square. Got it or not? Are yes or no? Are you guys able to get me or not? Tell me. Yes. So now look over here. Now try to see. From this, we can calculate the difference between y2 and y1 or not. Now you can ask me, sir, why you have taken the same time? Because I am throwing the ball in the upward direction. I want to calculate the difference in their position. So I can calculate only when we have the similar time reference. Means for both of the balls, I have the similar watch. Got it or not? So therefore, I have the similar time. So here y2 minus y1 equation will be what? It will be equal to 30t. Why? Because half at square got cancelled. Yes or no? Now, you try to see this, try to understand about this thing. First, calculate, like, you try to understand for particular ball A and particular ball B, till what time they are traveling. Can you calculate that first? Till what time they are traveling. Can you calculate? Okay, so I'll tell you the trick how to calculate. Now try to see, guys. See, I take this as a reference level now. Purely understand this concept because this is the most important question. Okay, so ball A travels till this upward motion, then it comes over here and it is targeting downwards. Okay, ball B travels towards the upward motion, then comes over here and it is targeting downwards. Ball A was thrown with initial velocity of 10 meter per second. It has came over here. Now try to see if the ball is coming, if the ball is traveling this whole path from here to here, then coming to the ground. What is the displacement in the ball path? It is equal to 240 meters or not? Tell me yes or no. What is the displacement in A? It is equal to 240 meter. It has been attained with the initial velocity of 10 meter per second, and it will be attained at some time. For ball B is going to travel this y2 displacement. Okay, again it will come, since it is coming down, so upward part displacement becomes 0. It is again covering the similar displacement 240 meter. It has initial velocity 40 meter per second, so it will cover in different time t2. Yes or no? Are you able to get me or not, guys? Hello? Are you able to understand what I told? You try to see this. Ball A first goes up, then comes down, hitting the ground. When it is hitting the ground, so what is going to happen? In the region 1, in this region, the total displacement becomes 0. And in this region, how much is the total displacement for ball A? 240 meter. For ball B also, it is a similar displacement. But for both of them, the time taken will be different. So I am writing the equation. So for ball A, displacement is in downward path, so minus of 240. I'm writing for ball A. It is equal to what? Initial velocity is 10 meter per second. So 10 t of ball A minus, since acceleration is a negative, so minus of 10 into t of A square. Got it or not? Yes or no? Similarly, for ball B, the equation will be what? Minus of 240 is going to be equal to 40 t of B minus of half 10 into t of B square. Understood or not? Are you guys able to understand this or not? So when you solve this, like if you solve this quadratic equation, you will get TA is equal to 8 seconds. And here you will get TB is equal to how much? 12 seconds. Okay. So now you have got the equation. One is 8 seconds, another one is 12 seconds. Understood or not? Tell me. Are you guys able to get me or not? Tell me. Yes, sir. Okay. Now try to see. Try to see. The total time this ball is taking is how much? 8 seconds. This ball is taking how much? 12 seconds. So like what is going to happen? In the time axis, we will have, try to see this. In the time axis, let's suppose this is my time axis. Which equations will be there? So first, there will be a graph for 0 to 8 seconds. Yes or no? Then there will be a graph for 8 to 12 seconds. Why? Because in 0 to 8, both the balls are there. So y2 minus y1 is there. But from 8 to 12, what has happened? Only y2 is there, but y1 is going to be equal to how much? 0. So look over here. See, since this ball, try to see this. For this ball, the total motion path is equal to how much? 8 seconds. For this ball, the total motion path is equal to 12 seconds. So that means what? Both of the balls will be present between which to which second? 0 to 8 second. Then 8 to 12, 8 to 12, only which ball will be present? Ball B will be present. Understood or not? Are you able to get me or not? Yes or no? Okay, so guys, today I do not know. Thank you, but super chat someone has activated. Okay, so we have got like someone has donated 40 rupees. Okay, thank you guys. Okay, so now, uh-huh, it is Zanth only. Okay, so now look over here. Now try to move to this point. Okay, coming to this point. Now see this. So you have to first form the graph from for the 0 to 8 second, then you have to form the graph for 8 to 12 second. Now look over here. Between 0 to 8 second, we know the equation. What is the displacement difference equation? Y2 minus Y1 is going to be equal to 30t. So at t is equal to 8 second, find the gap between both the balls. It is going to be equal to how much? Y2 minus Y1 is equal to 30 into 8, which is equal to 240 meters. Okay, so first option is correct. Like in every graph you see that at t is equal to 8 second, Y2 minus Y1 is at how much displacement? 240. So your option first part is correct. 0 to 8 second you got the graph. It will be linear graph because try to see y2 minus y1 is varying with time only with the power 1. The power of t is equal to what? 1 over here. So this displacement of y2 minus y1 or the difference of y2 minus y1 varies linearly with time. So for all the three graphs it is correct. For all the four graphs, okay. Try to see this y2 minus y1 varies linearly with time and also at 8 second it is showing 240 meters. But after that try to see 8 to 12 second now. In 8 to 12 second, what is happening? The displacement of ball A is going to be equal to how much? 0. Displacement of ball A is going to be equal to how much? 0. So displacement of B, Y2 is going to follow which equation? It is going to be equal to 10t minus of half AT square. What you are observing that Y2 is following a parabolic equation after that. Try to see. So I can write now like Y2 minus Y1 is nothing but it is equal to 10t minus of half AT square. Now that means what? That after time t, after time 8 second, particle is following the difference of y2 minus y1 is following a quadratic equation. In which kind of quadratic equation? This is minus of half AT square or not? So that means what? Downward parabola. So look over here. In which of the graph it is a downward parabola? Here it is forming a downward parabola. So option B is correct. Okay. So Amar, do not see the solutions and see the answers. Okay. Yes, I'm streaming also. Okay. Are you able to get me or not? So this is the whole explanation of this graph. Should I repeat it once again or are you able to understand this? Tell me. Everyone? Ankit and all? Yasmin, Radha, Darshan, are you able to get me or not? Tell me yes or no. Ahmad, now are you able to understand? Asparsa? Okay, so please try to see this that these questions, this is 2015 mains question. Okay, so first what I did, I calculated the equation between them, means I found out that at what time, see this is a difference like y2 minus y1 versus time gap. So first you need to calculate that what is the total time of traveling for A, what is the total time of traveling for B. I calculated that time of traveling for A is 8 seconds, time of traveling for B is 12 seconds. Now that is just I got one thing. I just got one vibe. Okay, sir, I have got something from all of these equations. That means what? From 0 to 8 seconds, something is going to happen. Both of the balls will be present. From 8 to 12 seconds, only ball B will be present because at that time, ball A would have fallen to the ground. So that means what? Only y2 minus y1 for 0 to 8 seconds, they are going to follow similar time. So for them, I calculated the equation that is equal to y2 minus y1 is equal to 30t. I found out that y2 minus y1 is following a linear graph till 0 to 8 seconds and the gap between them is always how much? 240 meters. Okay. So that is what I have drawn at t is equal to, sorry, at t is equal to 8 seconds, the gap between them is how much? 240 meters. Now you can also calculate like how how this particular what we say, but how this particular gap is increasing by putting the value of tan theta over it. Tan theta is going to be y2 minus y1 divided by 8. Okay, so it depends. Like for this theta, you can calculate what is the gap over here at t is equal to 6 or 5. You can calculate from the graph easily. Understood or not? Now, from 8 to 12, what was happening? Since the ball one was fallen to the ground, so displacement in A is going to be equal to 0, and y2 minus y1 was only following the graph of, or only following the equation of ball 2, which is equal to 10t minus half at square. That means what? Y2 minus y1 is following a downward parabola graph. So for that, option B is correct. Understood or not? Or yes or no? Okay. So moving to next question, question number 6. JEE Mains 2005. Tumba is the problem. So during my time in 2016, there was no JEE questions. Yes, from graphical analysis I was saved, but it will not be saved. Now think, Mari. Think, Mari. Think, Mari. We will rock you. So I'm a singer, I'm a teacher, I'm a dancer. Like I can't dance, but I can little bit dance. Okay. I'm everything for you guys. Okay. I don't understand this question. Hey, that anyone over here can understand this question or not? That is, hey, this is your J exam. Okay. I didn't want to hear that must be. Okay. You should say, think once. Who are saying option A? Then dance. Who are saying option B? Cry. Who are saying option C? Too much dance. Okay. Darshan, any answer? Nishant G, Yasmin, Hitesh, Radha. Why you guys are silent, huh? You guys are not studying. I know. Asparsa, any answer for this question? Nishant, Afan, Ahmad. Ahmad, any answer? Option D. Uh, Ahmad have applied the same concept, but he have went little bit wrong in one of the concept. Okay, so look over here. This is velocity with respect to position. Velocity with respect to position. It is asking acceleration with respect to position. A with respect to x naught. It is asking. It's A. Nishant is also saying option A. So let us see how option A is correct. I'm saying again, option A is correct. YouTube family is also like. Let us see how it is correct. So try to see this. Acceleration time graph means velocity position graph is like this way or not. The slope is downward. So first going to acceleration, you know that acceleration is going to be equal to what? It is equal to dv by dt. But I can write this as what? Acceleration is equal to dv with respect to dx into dx by dt. If I have the variation of velocity with respect to position, try to see in this graph velocity is varying with respect to position, so therefore acceleration is equal to dv by dx into dx by dt. Now look over here, how to understand, like how to get to this. I got the equation, but what to apply over here? So first you need the velocity equation or not. So what will be velocity equation? You know the coordinates of this. This is equal to how much? 0 comma v naught. This coordinate is equal to how much? X naught comma 0. You know the relation, like how to write the straight line equation. That is y minus of y1 divided by y2 minus y1 is equal to uh, like x minus of x1 by x2 minus x1. This is your straight line equation. If I have the Cartesian axis as y and x, here Cartesian axis is v and x, so this will become what? V minus of y1 is how much? Let's suppose this is y1, it is equal to v naught. Okay, divided by y2 is what? 0, 0 minus of v naught. That is equal to nothing but x is what? X is x. x1 is how much? It is equal to 0 divided by x2 is how much? X naught minus of 0. Okay, so what you got as your particular equation? V minus of v naught is equal to minus of v naught divided by x naught into x. So what is going to be your v equation? V is nothing but it is equal to minus of wait, it is equal to minus of v naught by x naught into x plus of v naught. So you got your velocity equation. Try to see this. This velocity is dependent upon position. So you have got your correct velocity equation. Now you can calculate the acceleration out of it. Acceleration is what? It is dx by dt. Dx by dt is nothing but it is equal to velocity. So velocity into dv by dx. So velocity is what? Velocity you have got your equation minus of v naught by x naught into x plus of v naught. What is dv by dx? dv by dx will be what? Tell me. It is going to be equal to minus of v naught by x naught or not only. So what you got is your acceleration relation. It is equal to v naught by x naught square into x plus of minus of v naught square divided by x naught. Are you able to get me or not, everyone? Are you able to get this equation or not? Hey guys. Okay. Now try to see this. Look over here. So acceleration varies with respect to position linearly or not. What is the power of x over here? It is equal to 1 or not. So acceleration is directly proportional to x over here. First important conclusion. So I will have a straight linear graph. Okay. So a straight graph like this graph is not possible because acceleration is not constant. Acceleration is even not going down. So this is also not possible. So which will graph will be possible? Option A and option B is going to be possible. Within this, I need to answer. Why? Because all of these two graphs are also linear. Now coming to the next point, when you put x is equal to 0, try to see x is equal to 0, acceleration is going to be equal to minus of v naught square by x naught or not. So therefore, at x is equal to 0, instead of positive value, you have actually a negative value. Understood or not? So this, which one of between A and B is going to be possible? Option A is going to be possible. So option A is correct. Now, here also, I told it abruptly that this is incorrect, but try to see this. Let x is equal to x naught at x equal to 0. It has also a component of minus of v naught square by x naught. But this acceleration graph is getting much more negative. But you try to see as I increase, try to see what is your acceleration equation. Acceleration is equal to v naught square by x naught square x minus of v naught square by x naught. So if your x value increases, actually your acceleration will become positive. It will not become negative. Understood or not? So here you try to see as the x is increasing, acceleration is becoming much more negative. So this is not correct, but this is correct. Try to see from here. This is again v naught square by x naught, and from here what is happening as the position is increasing, acceleration is increasing because of this term over here. Understood or not, everyone? Are you able to get me or not? Okay na? ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ na ಸಾಕಲಾಗ ಮುಂದ yes or no? Okay, move to next question. Now I am going to J advanced level. Hey, छोटा सा बच्चा सा question. See this question. Do this question. 2012 JEE Mains. So if you go through my notes perfectly, whatever I have done, you will not have to think about anything. Okay, all of these things you can do easily. See, is JEE Mains is feeling tough for you guys? No, na, because you have done all the questions. It is, tell me. Option B. Option B. It is told option B. Nissan told option A. Yeah. So Asparsha is also saying option B. Yasmin option A. Asparsha option B. So look over here. What is happening? Distance is proportional to t cube. X is directly proportional to t cube. Okay. Now look over here. Acceleration. It is asking acceleration time graph. You know that acceleration is what? It is equal to g2x by dt square. If the displacement equation is given. So here dx by dt is going to be equal to how much? It is going to be equal to directly proportional to 3t square. I'm writing directly. After that, if I take the double differentiation of it, d2x by dt square, it is going to be equal to how much? It is going to be directly proportional to 60. That means what? Acceleration is directly proportional to 60. Means what? That acceleration is, try to see that, what is the power of t over here? It is equal to 1. That means what? Acceleration is varying with respect to time linearly. Now, what is going to happen if time increases? Try to see if I put t equal to 0, acceleration is 0 or not. So at t is equal to 0, look over here between these two graphs, in this graph and this graph, in which at t equal to 0 acceleration is 0, at here. So option B is correct, and it is also linear. So option B is correct. Understood or not? Or yes or no? Got it? Okay. So yeah, so this was the most easiest question. Okay, so now we are moving to J advanced level. So first question of J advanced. The position time graph of the particle moving along the x-axis has been shown in the figure. At which of the indicated points the particle has negative velocity but acceleration is in the positive x direction? You have to follow my graphical analysis videos, okay, for these things. Negative velocity, positive acceleration, negative velocity, negative acceleration. I have done all of these kind of things. So second case, positive velocity but acceleration in negative x direction. Third case, received a sharp blow by a large force for negligible interval of time. So can you show me like what is happening in this graph? Anyone? Okay. I'm a disco dancer. Tudutu. Hey guys, my YouTube is getting filled with money and money. This is really a nice question, very much nice question. Okay, if you have really a good concept, then only you can do it. Okay, Yasmin, thank you, thank you. Anyone? At least one question from all of this. Darshan, many intelligent guys are filled in my group. Ahmad, Darshan, Afan, Nizanji, Radha, Sparsa, Hitesh, Yasmin. Top guys are there. All of our. What is happening to everyone? Huh? Yes, Nishant. Hello, hello. This question is very much good. Okay. I think you guys will have little bit problem in dealing with this. Okay. So look over here. Let me do it. Okay. चलो बढ़ते हैं इस क्वेश्चन की तरफ. Okay. So इसको एग्जांपल की तरह सॉल्व करें. ये बुक तुम आई एम टेलिंग यू गाइस the solutions of all of these kind of problems are not even available on Topper, not even available on any kind of Doubtnut, whatever website you follow. The solutions are not available. It is only available in the mind of Anurag sir. Okay. So let us start with an example. I have a tree. A car starts. A car is positioned over here. This is my BMW. Okay. Lamborghini Gallardo. Let us make it Lamborghini Gallardo. I love Lamborghini Gallardo. Okay. So this is my Lamborghini Gallardo over here. Now try to see what has happened. So from this tree, what has happened? There is one wall over here. Okay. There is one big wall over here. Okay. Got it or not? So what has happened? First, particle starts its motion towards the opposite direction. What it is doing, guys? It has started its motion towards the opposite direction. When it will start its motion towards the opposite direction, try to see this is my x naught initially. What is going to happen? When the car will start moving towards this side, this wall, this x naught is going to decrease or not. So initially you have that displacement x naught. What has happened till this point, at when the car comes over here near this reference frame of tree, what has happened? Total displacement has become 0. After that, again this car starts to move in this direction. It goes and it gets collided with the wall. If it gets collided with the wall, what will happen? the car will stop for the some time. Here the car stops for the some time. Okay. And what has happened? Try to see this. Particle started from initially at x naught. It goes to this displacement becomes 0 at the reference point. This is my reference point. Okay. And at point B, like it moves back, still it goes in the opposite direction. At this point B, what has happened? It has collided with the wall. When it collides with the wall, it stops for some time. It stops for time C, till time C. So look over here at point B, it has collided with the wall. A large force has attacked on this car and it stops till when it has stopped till point C over here. Understood or not? Till this point, are you able to understand this graph or not? Tell me. Yes or no, everyone? What I told that it collides with the wall. If it collides with the wall, large force will act. It will stop the body. It has stopped the body at point B, and it remains stopped till point C. After that, again it starts its acceleration, but it starts its acceleration in which direction? In the forward direction. Okay, so it starts to move in this direction. Okay, with some kind of constant velocity v. So it starts to move in the now forward direction. So that this is what happens. It moves with the forward velocity in the forward direction, and you have the graph in the positive x t quadrant. Understood or not? Tell me, yes or no. Are you able to understand this graph whole or not? So first, are you able to understand? I can give you the answer of third question now. Where the particular particle has received the sharp blow. It has received the sharp blow between point B and C or not? Tell me, yes or no. So large force has acted where? It has acted at point B and C. Understood or not? Tell me. Hitesh, Radha, Nishant, Sujit. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Amar. Are you able to get me or not? Darshan, Afan, Nishant. Okay. Now, moving to the next point. Try to see when the object has started moving up over here. Now, at all of the points between position time graph, it is asking about velocity and acceleration or not. So, draw the slopes. At point D, draw the slope. At point T, draw those tangents. Sorry. Draw the tangents at point F. Draw the tangent at point Z. Draw the tangent. Now, look over here. What it is saying in second question, it is asking about the positive velocity, but acceleration is negative in x direction. In which direction? X direction. Okay. So, try to see where is your positive velocity when the slope points upward. I know now, like if it is a xt graph, if in the graph, if your tangent points upward, what kind of velocity you have? You have a positive velocity, yes or no? What kind of velocity you have? You have a positive velocity. So look over here between x and t, where the slopes are pointing upward. At point D, it is pointing upward, and at point Z, it is pointing upward. Yes or no? Or yes or no? Everyone, hey, why you guys are silent? Do not be silent in advanced type of question. I will feel demotivated even. Okay. So at point D and G, what has happened? The slope is pointing upwards. Now, in this D and G, only positive velocity is not the case. It is also asking that acceleration is negative. Acceleration should be negative. How to verify that? At where the acceleration is negative, how to verify? So what you need to do, let's suppose at point D you calculated this velocity is positive. Near the point D, take another point, take two another points, one upward the point D, one downward the point D. Okay, draw the slope at these points. Okay, what you observe, try to see near the D. At this point, the slope is decreased. Try to see if you draw the right angle triangle for point D, it is little bit bigger than the right angle triangle for point D prime, and this is your D double prime. So try to see this. Everyone try to see this. What has happened? That near the point D, if I draw the right angle triangle for the another tangent at D prime, what has happened? This triangle is less. That means what? What has happened over here? Your velocity is decreased or not? Means at point near the point D, what has happened? Tell me, yes, everyone, that here, what has happened? Your velocity is decreased or not? Then only the slopes are decreasing at this range. Yes or no? Or yes or no? Are you able to get me or not? So if your velocity is going to decrease, that means what? At point D, what has happened? You have a negative acceleration. Or yes or no? Yes or no? I can't hear anything. Hey, that yaar, everyone is silent. Yaar. I feel it lost. Look over here. This is this graph now. This is this graph. Okay. I told what? Take the select the point D. Draw the slope over here. Draw the tangent over here. Okay. Now, to verify, this is position time graph. Okay. So this tangent tells about the velocity at point D. It is telling that velocity at point D is positive. Okay. First important conclusion. But I want to calculate what is the acceleration at point D. So to do that, select 2 points, another 2 points, one before the D, that is D prime, another one back of D, that is D double prime. Again, you draw the tangents at these 2 points. Okay. What you observe, that tangent at D prime is going to be equal to what? What do you observe? This right angle triangle at D prime and the right angle triangle at D double prime and the right angle triangle at D. What do you observe? That triangle, right triangle at point D prime is much more greater than right angle triangle at point D is much more greater than right angle triangle at point right triangle at point D prime. Understood or not? So that means what? Your velocity, let's suppose if I conclude about the velocity at point D prime, velocity at point D prime, velocity at point D, and velocity at point D double prime, velocity at point D, and velocity at D prime. So what is going to happen? What you observe over here? That velocity at D double prime is much more greater than velocity at point D, and where the velocity at point D prime is much more less. So that means what? Here in this range, in this particular range from here to here, what has happened? Actually, your velocity is decreasing. That happens when? With the case of retardation. So here we have negative acceleration, but at point D, since the slope is pointing upwards, so velocity is still positive. Understood or not? Tell me everyone. Yes or no? Are you able to tell me or not? Nishant, Radha, Afan, everyone. Hitesh, Yasmin, Darshan. Okay or not? Tell me. Ahmad. Okay. Okay. So now, so that means what? At point D, I have the positive velocity, but I have a negative acceleration. Look at point Z also. Select 2 points. See this also at point Z also. What you have? You have a negative acceleration. So this negative acceleration is happening at D, comma Z. Understood or not? Tumba kasa problem, Ankit. Yes, it is a tumba kasa problem. Okay, now try to see negative velocity we have to understand with positive acceleration. Okay, so here we have but negative velocity, but acceleration is positive direction. Now you have to consider for this is the most important case. Okay, at this time, this is the most important. I'm erasing this whole part to understand in a much more better way. So when you draw on the slope at point D, it was pointing upwards. At Z, it is still pointing upward. So here the velocity is positive. But at point E and point A, try to see that. Hey, wait. Mm-mm. Not G over here. Wait. Negative acceleration it is asking now. If you draw the slope at this point, if I draw the slope at this point, wait, let me just check at F. Wait. Okay. So when it is happening like this way, one thing is there. This is like this. Okay, this is my point F. Slope is like this way. At this point, slope is like this way. Okay. Yeah, correct. No problem. Okay, now look over here. Okay, so here it will not be G, it will be actually F over here. Why? Because it is asking about negative velocity now, positive velocity now. So at point F, we have the positive velocity. Slope is pointing upward. At Z, it is very much slant. Okay, it is kind of a neutral kind of thing. Okay, now look over it. Move to next point. So it is asking about the negative velocity, but acceleration is positive x direction. So look over it, where the velocity is negative. So you observe at point T, if I draw the slope, it is pointing downwards. Yes or no? Yes or no? So here you have what kind, if the slope point downwards in xt graph, the velocity is negative or not? Yes or no? So here velocity is negative, but another point is what? You have to check whether the acceleration is positive or not. Okay, so you try to see. I selected 2 points and I have drawn the tangent over here. So look over here at this point and at this point. You try to see right angle triangles. Right angle triangles. Ultimately, what is happening? Right angle triangle. So look over here. I'll draw the bigger graph of this. Okay. So this is my graph. Yes or no? This point is your E. This is your E prime. This is your E double prime. Draw the slopes over here. It has become quite okay. Wait. So what you observe? Right angle triangle is bigger over here. Okay. So what has happened? Right triangle at E prime is much more greater than right triangle at E is much more greater than right triangle at E double prime. That means what? That means what? What has happened? Negative velocity at E prime is much more greater than negative velocity at point B is much more greater than negative velocity at point E prime. So that means what? If I just multiply all with negative, this sign changes. So V at E prime is going to be much more at B at E, and it is going to be equal to V of E double prime. So what you observe over here, that actually velocity increases down the slope, means velocity is increasing where? It is increasing in the opposite direction, but still the velocity is negative. Velocity negative means what? That velocity is negative means what? That your velocity is, you can't say that. If someone asks you that, sir, your velocity is negative, should I say that it is a decreasing velocity? The answer is no. Okay, decreasing velocity does not say that your velocity should be negative. Okay, decreasing velocity means what? From some positive value I have kept to the zero value. Understood or not? So here actually your velocity is negative does not implies that velocity is going to be zero. Okay, so it is why this velocity is negative, because your displacement is in forward direction, but the velocity is in the opposite direction. Understood or not? Tell me yes or no. Or yes or no. So now if your velocity is negative, and since the velocity is increasing, that means what? You have a negative velocity, but the acceleration as positive. So at what point acceleration is positive? It is at point E. Understood or not? And velocity is still negative at point E. Understood or not? Or yes or no? Are you able to get me or not? Are you able to understand this? So this was your J advanced question. Okay. Now, can I move to next question? Any kind of doubt till now? Okay. Thank you, Vikas Bhaiya. So actually, our one of the best friend from NIT Raurkela, Vikas Patra, is going on YouTube. Thank you, Vikas Bhaiya, for watching these videos and giving a right comment. Okay. So based upon this, you try to solve this question. This is one of the most important question. What it is saying, the velocity time graph for two particles, 1 and 2, moving along the x-axis is shown in figure. At time t equal to 0, both are at origin. During the first 4 seconds of motion, which what is the maximum separation between the particle? At what time the separation is maximum? Wow, what a question. ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ question. Uh, solve this question. Those who will solve this question, a gift from my side. If you can find what is the maximum separation between the particles. Hmm. You are getting 3 minutes for solving this question. After that, I will solve. Should I move ahead with the question? I think it is very hard to for you. No, solve. Then area of the triangle. Yes, yes, we. But that area of the triangle will, if you solve, it will be zero. If you will be solving. But how? Tell me which area of the triangle and why? At these two ends. Where are these two ends? Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. I'll explain. Yes. Wait. Little bit you are on the right track, but you'll have to think. Okay. So you have done it incorrect. Okay. But the explanation is little bit correct. Your answer is correct, but your process is not that much correct. Okay. So if I just change it to some kind of curvical graph, your answer will be perfectly wrong in this question. Okay. So let us see how it is going to happen. So you are saying, sir, this is my area, and I will calculate this area. This is your maximum separation kind of thing. Yes or no? I know. You are going to say this, but this is not correct. Okay. So this is given even in topper. Okay, one of the student has given in topper, but that explanation is quite of weird. Okay. Look over here. See this. Okay, both of the particle starts from origin. Now try to see. Particle 1 is here. For particle 1, this is my velocity time uh, like graph. For particle B, the velocity time graph for the particle B is like this. So can I write the equation for particle A? Velocity equation for particle 1. What that will be? See this. What is your tan theta over here? Tan theta is negative again. Where base is what? Base is your 4 and height is also 4. So it will be what? Minus of 4 by 4 into which axis? X axis time t plus what is your intercept? Intercept is equal to 4 or not? So it is equal to 4. So what is your equation over here? Your equation is minus of t plus 4. So velocity of A is equal to minus of t plus 4. Velocity of B will be having which equation? Try to see for velocity of B. Your height is what? 4. Your base is what? 4. So that means what? Slope is 1. So it is equal to t. Intercept is again it is equal to just 0. Yes or no? Are you yes or no everyone? Are you able to get me or not? Okay. Now look over here. It is asking about the maximum separation. So look over here. To get about the maximum separation, first I need to calculate the displacement equation out of it. We know that V of A is nothing but dx by dt. It is equal to minus of t plus 4 of A, and dx by dt for B is going to be equal to t on. Got it or not? From this, I'll get my x equation. X of A I'm writing directly. I'm not using that integrals and all. So it will be equal to minus of t square by 2 plus of 4t. Yes or no? X of A. Is this is going to be equal to or not? X of B, it is going to be equal to only t square by 2. I'll do this little bit. Okay, many people will have doubt over here because they are new to this JEE advanced level. So I'm doing this once again. So dx by dt is equal to minus of t plus 4. So therefore dx is equal to what? Minus of t plus 4 into dt. I can apply the integrals over here. We know that if we have only dx, the variable comes as output. So x will come as output. Here I'll have to take integration on both the terms. Minus of t dt plus integral of 4 dt. What is going to happen? X is going to be equal to minus common over here. Integral t to the power of 1 dt plus 4 is constant. It comes out integral dt. What is going to happen? Minus of t to the power of 1 is going to, what is the formula? Integral of x to the power of n dx, it is equal to x to the power of n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. So minus of t to the power of 1 plus 1 divided by 1 plus 1 plus 4. From this term, the only the variable comes as output. So it has came. So here minus of t square divided by 2 plus of 40. Are you able to get me or not, everyone? Is it okay or not? Yes, Radha, Prashant, Ji, Amar, Asparsa? Yasmin, yes or no? Darshan, okay or not? So first you got your displacement time equation, that is equal to minus of t square by 2 plus of 40. Oh, sorry. Okay, there is one more question. Okay, so there is one more. Okay, so these are the main questions you'll have to solve by yourself. First, I am solving this. Okay, so similarly, x of a you calculated, you got minus of t square by 2 plus of 40. X of b is going to be equal to t square by 2t. Okay, it is asking the maximum separation. So separation equation will be what? Wait. So look over here. What is your separation equation? It will be what? Xb minus of Xa. That is going to be equal to how much? T square by 2 minus of T square by 2 plus of 40. So that means what? But this is going to be equal to, sorry, this is minus now. Minus plus, that is equal to T square plus of 40. That is your Xb minus of Xa. Yes or no? Now you try to see. I want this separation to be maximum. And how to calculate the maximum? how we know now, like where how to calculate about the maximum. First, like I have told now, like if you have any function of x, if you want that if this function should be maximum, first you need to put d of fx by dx is equal to 0. You'll get one solution of x from that, then you calculate d of f of x by dx square at that position of x. If this is less than 0, then your function is maximum at this point x. Yes or no? Or yes or no? Good or not? Everyone, guys, yes or no? Okay. So based upon this, try to see this. What will be d of x of b minus of d of x of a divided by t? Time is a variable over here. It is going to be 2t plus of sorry. Sagala ka boom boom. Everybody ka boom boom. This is minus. This is going to be 2t minus of 4. Understood or not? Now put this equal to 0. You got what? 2t minus 4 is equal to 0. You got t as equal to how much? T as equal to 2. So at t is equal to 2, what you have? You have the maximum separation that you have got. Now then calculate d2 x of b minus of x of a divided by dt square. Again differentiate this term. It will be what? It will be equal to 2. A I have got positive value, that means what? This is minimum. So you just change xa minus of xb. Okay, you calculate here xa minus of xb, you will get here negative, and that time d2 xa minus of xb by dt square is negative. That means what? Actually d of xa minus of xb. So look over here. Okay, so xa minus of xb is maximum, not xb minus of x. Xa minus xb is maximum at which time, guys? At time is equal to 2 seconds. Understood or not? Tell me yes or no. So what is your maximum separation at t equal to 2 seconds? What that will be? It is going to be xa minus of xb is nothing but 2 square minus of 4 into 2. That is 4 minus of, and this will be negative, this will be positive that time. So minus of 4 plus of 8, and that will be nothing but 4 meter. So at t is equal to 2 seconds, what is happening? Your maximum separation is happening. And what is the maximum separation present? It is equal to 4 meter. Are you able to understand this or not? Tell me yes or no? Yes or no? So you have to repeat this question for xa minus of xb. Got it or not? You will try to do that. Okay. Next, option B, what it is saying? Draw the position time graph for this particle. So you have to draw the position time graph. Okay. Now that is a question for you guys tomorrow. If all of you guys try to send the solution of this position time graph in the solution, like in the group, tomorrow I'll deal with this. Okay, so there are still how many questions are left for JEE Advanced? 1, 2 and 3 questions. So 3 questions into 20 minutes. It will take 1 hour to solve those 3 questions. Are you able to get me or not? Okay, so we'll have to take 1 hour extra for this velocity. I thought I will complete it today only, but this graphical analysis is not completed yet. Okay, so everyone, how was the class? Tell me, was it fine or not? YouTube guys also please review it if you like, dislike. How was it? You can subscribe and all and share this thing. Okay.